New commitment for Notre Dame in the 2025 class, and we've got Tim Hyde from Blue and Gold to break this one down. Of course, before we dive into this big news, hit the thumbs up on this video, subscribe to our YouTube channel here, and go to blueandgold.com for much more on this news and other Notre Dame football and recruiting headlines. Anthony Sacca from Philadelphia St. Joseph's Prep is the prospect who's committed to the Fighting Irish, four-star prospect. According to the On3 industry ranking, top 5 of Alabama, Ohio State, Duke, Wisconsin, and Notre Dame. Those were the schools he chose from. Also had offers from Michigan, Penn State. His father played for the Nittany Lions. We'll talk about a little bit more about that in a minute and kind of his recruiting timeline because there's some really interesting stuff. But Tim will pop on his junior film here. Tell us what you see on it.
Yeah, well, I mean, first off, Mike, he's a pot of gold day offer from a year ago, which I totally forgot about that. I mean, it's so long ago, we forget these things go out, so far in advance. But I thought that was a big thing. And he's a 3-year starter. I mean, he was a safety his first 2 years. A lot of his freshman and sophomore film are out there for everyone to go watch. Really good, rangy athlete. You compare him from his freshman to junior film, Mike, he keeps growing. This guy keeps getting longer, bigger, thicker, all those things, and he's definitely going to grow into to be a Mike Will backer. He's going to be a true inside backer down the road. A lot of his film, he looks like an old school Sam linebacker, meaning a guy who's covering the tight end, playing the slot, those types of things. I like his film. One thing I noticed, because he comes from a great high school, a powerhouse high school, a national high school that plays dudes all over the country. So, he's getting great competition, great coaching. But when you watch him play, it's just something I just, was watching, prepping for him. Looks like he's always thinking on the run, meaning he's breaking down the play, really good at reading plays and reading the schemes and reacting to those. But I really like him. I love, it's kind of like an old school mentality, taking safeties, moving them to linebackers, taking linebackers, moving them to defensive ends. And Notre Dame, I think, has a couple type of backers that they've signed the last few years that fit that mold. And I think Sacca is definitely going to be one of those Mike Will and true inside backers as he keeps growing and developing for the Irish.
So this is one of my all-time favorite recruitments to cover, Tim. You said he was a pot of gold offer last year. Yeah. Sort of. He was a pot of gold kid in that Notre Dame talked to him on pot of gold day. But Marcus Freeman was named Notre Dame head coach December 3rd, 2021. Gotcha. This kid got his offer from Notre Dame. Look at the date on there. December 16th.
Yeah.
So that's 13 days after Marcus Freeman became head coach. So this entire time, Freeman's been head coach except for 13 days there.
Yep.
Zach has been on the board for Notre Dame. He got offered by the Fighting Irish his freshman year. Look who he's thanking there in his tweet. Coach J_MC there. That's John McNulty was Notre Dame. That's 2 tight ends coaches ago that, when McNulty was on staff. That's when Sacca got his scholarship offer. So I looked back at my first story I wrote on Sacca. Soon after he got that offer, he was telling me he was talking to Chris O'Leary because he was a safety at that point, yeah, and John McNulty. So McNulty played at Penn State, and Anthony Sacca's father played for the Nittany Lions. Guess who also was on that team? Al Golden, Notre Dame's defensive coordinator and linebackers coach. And of course, Sacca, now a linebacker prospect. Those two had a very tight relationship during this recruiting process. And Tim, this kid's a Penn State legacy, of course. Yeah. Penn State didn't make his top 5. I had been writing for months and months, really going back to his first visit last spring, that Notre Dame's really a team to keep an eye on here. My last article I wrote on him was after, my last time interviewing him was after his Ohio. No, actually, it was in November, so a couple months after he was visited for the Notre Dame Ohio State game, and I remember writing on the message board I think Notre Dame's really the team to beat here. So pretty strong recruiting win. He was going to visit Bama in a couple weeks here. Wisconsin was a real threat. Ohio State. It's a solid recruiting win for Notre Dame's 3rd linebacker commit of the class, joining Dom Hulock from Chicagoland, who was talking to some sources last night about Notre Dame linebacker recruiting. And yeah, Hulock is a kid who just Notre Dame loved and was like, we have to take this kid. And then Ko'okia, from Honolulu, Notre Dame's very excited about him and his upside. As a kind of that just versatile linebacker, who might end up playing as a Viper. And then you bring in Sacca, who's another versatile player who I think can play a lot of different positions in the front seven. And then I think that Notre Dame's going to continue to recruit guys like Madden Farimo from Southern California, maybe Gavin Nix from IMG. I'm sure the Irish will keep recruiting him. And then, of course, Nathaniel Owusu Boateng, another IMG prospect, the brother of Jeremiah Owusu Koroma. So I talked there for a while, Tim. I'll go back to you. Thoughts on all my different blabbering here?
No. I mean, just going back to one of the buzzwords you use there is versatile, and I think that's what Notre Dame has. A bunch of versatile type athletes. They can move around. Hulak, can he grow? Is he the next Josh Burnham in this class, so to speak? And obviously, I've mentioned Sacca being a safety and just keeps growing and moving down. And with Kia, he just looks like just one of those nickel dime special package guys that could do 6 things for you, on any given play. So, but then you got to go and close it out, as you just mentioned, a couple big time prospects at Notre Dame. Freeman and company are still highly recruiting to close out this class. So really excited for what they got there. But so far, it's 3 good football players. I totally forgot about the Sacca thing, because I checked that out a week ago just when I was going over notes. How long ago he did get offered, and the legacy, the Penn, when I sighed real quick, like, every time I think of Golden and Penn State, the longtime Notre Dame fans know he scored the game-winning touchdown against number 1 ND in 1990, and I still remember that, Mike. So I always think of that with Golden, but they've been recruiting him. That's one of the notes I wrote down. They have been recruiting him for a long time.
Yeah.
This has been someone Marcus Freeman's wanted in his program, to be one of those special linebackers, all the packages that they play at Notre Dame. He's an exciting football player. He's got a lot of old school to him, and then just keep growing, developing. I'm always a big believer. You let guys grow, let these guys develop naturally, see where they are after 18 months into the weight room at Notre Dame. I could see this dude easily being a 6'3", 235-pound inside linebacker that's just flying around, hitting and covering people. So it's a heck of a get, because those are, put up his offers. Just show his offer sheet. It is elite times 10. A lot of these programs went all over him, and he's got him down from the SEC, the Big Ten, all the big-time heavyweights. And I think the most important thing, you said it, Mike, is it's a Penn State legacy. Notre Dame has not been losing their legacies, have they? They've been collecting these guys up like hotcakes. So to get him away from the Big Ten powers, it's a big win for Notre Dame recruiting here.
So there you go. That's the news. Anthony Sacca, 4-star linebacker from St. Joseph's Prep in Philadelphia, picking the Fighting Irish. Please let us know what you think about this news. Drop in the YouTube comments here. Hit the thumbs up on this video. Subscribe to our YouTube channel. And as always, we will catch you guys next time.